zoom lenses versus prime lenses? Well, to start with, what's the difference? Back in the day, zoom lens was code for paperweight or doorstop because they had the similar optics to a pair of cheap sunglasses and were about as sharp as a butter knife. Zoom lenses were for amateurs. Back then, professional photographers used prime lenses. Today, technology has changed and zoom lenses are just as sharp as some prime lenses. A zoom lens is like having several lenses in one. It can go from a shorter focal length of 24 millimeters to a longer focal length of 105 millimeters or 70 millimeters to 200. The great thing about zoom lenses is you can go from shooting wide images like full-length portraits of people and the surrounding landscape to a 3/4 portrait without having to move position. A good zoom lens is like having 3 different lenses in your kit and is far more convenient because you don't have to change lenses all the time. However, there are some cons when working with zoom lenses. They're heavy. They're not great in tight spaces. They can be really conspicuous and dust gets in the sensor from the zoom action and they're more expensive. So how does that compare to prime lenses? A prime lens has a fixed focal length of say 50 millimeters or 85 millimeters. If you want to get closer to your subject, you need to use your feet and physically walk up to them. They're also generally sharper, faster, cheaper, and lighter. The subject matter you'll be shooting will also influence your choice of lenses. If you're planning on shooting a lot of portraits and headshots, many fashion and portrait photographers use long, fixed focal lenses or zoom lenses. If you'll be doing a lot of weddings, professionals stock their kits with wide and long lenses that are somewhere in between. If you'll be shooting a lot of environmental portraits, you will get more use out of wider lenses. They can be either prime or zoom lenses. Just go with the choice you are most comfortable with. If your budget is tight, you might consider buying second-hand lenses. Yes, zooms are all pricey, but remember, your lens should be able to last you a minimum of 10 years if you look after them. I've had my zoom lens for 10 years now and it's outlasted 3 cameras. This fact alone makes my 70 to 200 millimeter my most cost-effective investment. The other option you might like to consider is renting a long lens for a weekend. Prices are very reasonable. If you could only buy one lens to start with, then I would suggest starting with a 50 millimeter lens at 1.8 plus an entry-level kit lens. Then add the 24 to 105 lens when your budget can stretch to it. Then add the 70 to 200 lens, and then I would buy the 85 millimeter lens.